This is Macbeth. Tall fellow, handsome, noble, he's a good guy. He's also tragically flawed. Oh no. A tragic hero is a character who has specific flaws or mistakes that ultimately lead to their downfall. Our good, yet not so good friend Macbeth happens to be of this variety. Throughout the Macbeth play, Macbeth, starring Macbeth as Macbeth, we see other characters take advantage of his tragic flaws. Over time, we gradually see Macbeth crumble under the weight of his decisions until he's nothing more than a bite-sized shell of his former self. Then he dies. But before his death, before any of this, let's take a look at Macbeth in his implied glory days. Before any of his king-shanking, throne-stealing, Banquo-murdering malarkey, Macbeth was simply an officer in King Duncan's army. A skilled one at that. Macbeth is described as a valiant fighter and even receives a plot-significant job promotion from King Duncan himself. What a cool dude. I'm sure absolutely nothing ever is going to change about Macbeth. No, I'm serious. The Weird Sisters are here and they're feeding Macbeth a bogus prophecy. Or so he thinks. For their first act, the second witch predicts that Macbeth will receive a job promotion and become the new Thane of Cawdor. Alright, not bad, but the third witch also claims that Macbeth will be crowned king in his lifetime. I don't believe you one bit.
Hey Macbeth, I've got a message from King Duncan. He says you're the new Thane of Cawdor.
Uh-oh, now that I know the first prediction was true, I'm forced to conclude that the other one about me becoming king is true as well. So how do I become king, guys? Even though the thought of being a king is nice, Macbeth doesn't actually feel like doing anything about it at first. He's just fine with being the new Thane of Cawdor, saying he won't do anything specific to warrant him becoming a king or anything. This immediately changes in the very next scene. Man, would you look at that. King Duncan announces that his son, Malcolm, will be the heir to his throne. This is where the suspicious Macbeth behavior begins. Macbeth refers to Malcolm as an obstacle, that he will either need to step over or remove completely. Not really the most sane-sounding words from a guy who's supposed to be cool, you know? Macbeth's true intentions start to become clear here. He's power-hungry. Even if Macbeth isn't specifically planning a murder at this point, he's still definitely thinking about removing Malcolm somehow. This behavior becomes even worse once his wife is added to the equation. Lady Macbeth convinces Macbeth to kill Duncan by insulting his manliness. Apparently you can't be a man unless you've overthrown a king or two. Macbeth eventually gives in to his thirst for power and decides to start planning out the murder. Macbeth now believes that becoming king is within his reach. He just needs to be a little murdery to obtain it. Macbeth decides to host a dinner at his castle, inviting King Duncan as the guest of honor. Oh boy, I wonder why. During dinner, Macbeth leaves the table to ponder what he's about to do. Macbeth is about to murder King Duncan. Not cool. Macbeth feels incredibly nervous about what he plans to do, yet he knows he's gonna follow through with his plan regardless because of his thirst for power. And also his wife. She insults him again, which motivates him. Hooray! Banquo and his son also have an encounter with Macbeth where he seems a little stressed out about something. Once again, I wonder why. The next time we see Macbeth, it's after he's killed Duncan. He's officially got the king's blood on his hands now. Macbeth immediately regrets his actions, but it's too late now to do anything about it. Great. Everyone knows about the murder, 2 of Duncan's attendants are gone because of you, Banquo's stressed, Macduff is suspicious, Duncan's sons are fleeing the country. Good job, Macbeth! Enjoy being king. After having some time to recover, Banquo starts to become suspicious of Macbeth and his involvement in the murder of King Duncan. So Macbeth has him murdered. Is this your answer to everything? Macbeth had also planned the murder of Banquo's son, because according to the prophecy by the Weird Sisters, Fleance will be crowned king at some point. Macbeth has become so corrupted with power at this point that he's just murdering people left and right. He's wiping out everybody that stands in his way, friend or foe. What was originally considered a noble quality, his persistence to crush any adversary in battle, is now being used for the wrong reasons. Later, Macbeth sees Banquo's ghost sitting at the table during another state banquet. Macbeth refers to him, saying he can't sit down in Banquo's seat, but he's the only one that can see the ghost. This causes the lords to believe that Macbeth is feeble-minded, someone who's not fit to be a king. His actions are coming back to haunt him in a similar way that Banquo literally haunts him as a ghost. Hey, that's neato. In the final scene of Act 3, we see that Macduff, Malcolm, and the English king are raising an army to dethrone Macbeth. In his ambitious quest to become king, Macbeth never really thought about the consequences of all this killing, and now he's gonna die for it.